It is often difficult for people to connect crowded cities with the quiet nature. But where we are about to go is an exception. My name is Dongjing, and welcome to the financial center of Europe, Frankfurt am Main, Germany. Here you can not only taste the fragrance of flowers from all over the world in Germany's largest botanical garden, you can also visit the Frankfurt Museum, one of the most influential natural history societies. Feel the vicissitudes of nature in the museum headquarters. But compared to fossils and plants, the animals living in this city are more perfect for telling you their natural stories. Welcome to the series Frankfurt Zoo and Wonderland of Creatures, and I will take you there. Explore the wonderland of creatures at this century-old zoo. In the actual long video in the future, I will take you to visit old friends. Meet new faces, from the underwater world to the vast sky, born from the sun. At the end of the month, their lives are more exciting than you imagine. And I will show you all this one by one in the next series of videos. Now please bring your curiosity, and we will set off immediately. 1500 years ago, there was a small river quietly in the upper Rhine plain. Flows and the shoals formed by it are called in the old local language Fort. Later, this transportation fortress was occupied by the Franks. Therefore, this area was called Frankfurt. The fords of the Franks thousands of years later with Germany at the end of the 19th century, becoming a world academic center, Frankfurt, as the largest university in Germany at the time. Cities enjoy all the capabilities brought by the Second Industrial Revolution. From then on, as long as you come to Frankfurt, you can not only visit the largest. In the botanical garden, you can taste the fragrance of flowers from all over the world and enjoy the most beautiful scenery in the world, one of the most influential natural history societies. Feel the vicissitudes of nature at the museum headquarters in Zinkenberg. Brilliant scientific achievements inspire more and more young people. Devote yourself to the research of natural sciences, driven by scientists and enthusiasts. Next, this place has also become the world's oldest zoo climbing association reborn. Over the past 200 years, this city has witnessed. The history of the development of natural science has also become a part of history, but history can't speak. It's better to live in this city than Rangjin. The animals tell you. It is our protagonist in this issue. Frankfurt Zoo was born in. It is the second oldest zoo in Germany, founded in 1858 and only 11 years old. More than 400 animals are raised on 1 hectare of land. How is this done? So I visited the park. The classical building in front of you is a zoo built in 1875. The association building is now a landmark building opposite to steel and concrete. And the real entrance to the zoo is actually on the left. This building, which is completely different from the old building, is actually new in 13 years. The concept of the open new entrance is from urban architecture to animal habitat. Transition looks modern from the outside but starts from the inside. Artificially traceable walls begin to lead you away from nature. But don't worry. Many people miss the first exhibition area as soon as they enter. Behind the glass curtain wall on the left side of the radio station is actually the greenhouse hall of black coax monkey. Behind the blind room you can sometimes see a couple of coaxing monkeys. Resting in a tree, black monkeys also have more colorful primate buds on females than males. For example, the black one is the male, and the golden one next to it is the female. They. In the first few months of life, children, regardless of gender, will look like female-like golden color. When he turns 1 year old and turns into a black male, he will break away from the group and venture out. A new world has come. This little monkey, carried by its mother, is 4 months old. The largest tempo is the Peruvian Tempo Bata country. Park abbreviation. This is the original distribution area of many monkeys, if you have the opportunity to go there. When traveling, you may see long groups of monkeys and hear their screams. Because their barking is mainly to declare territory and warn others. There are no such disputes in captivity, so you can hardly hear them screaming. Monkeys are all highly erect species. Newborn monkeys must just hold on tight to mom's fur. You see, he is not as calm as his parents. Even his tail is tightly wrapped around his mother. Yo, I'm going out now. They are so active today. Let's go and follow them together. Use. Before entering the park, you must first pass through the admission hall. Everyone who comes in will notice these murals. This is the work of Wolfgang Weber, an artist who has had a 60-year relationship with the Frankfurt Zoo. The meaning is to go to nature. I saw the little guy in front of the seals. Is that chopped vegetable lingtang? It's the director's favorite. Okay, let's go now. We have officially entered the park. Now let's go this way. This is their outfield. The tree in the middle is their dedicated tree. Plain tree. This non-black monkey came out, and you can see the big tail that keeps wagging. Coaxing monkeys are all natural climbing experts. This big tail cannot only used to maintain balance and also used for grasping, because coaxing monkeys and us. The spider monkeys that will appear in the subsequent video belong to the family Arachnidae. The tail is known as the fifth one and even evolved into almost hairless pads that can be grasped like fingers. But compared to other monkeys, coaxing monkeys are not very active. Look at this distance. If other monkeys jumped over it, they would jump over it. He is only willing to crawl over with his feet firmly on the ground. This may be with him. It's related to eating habits, because the real nature of coaxing monkeys is not only speed but also singleness. To avoid consuming excess energy, they rarely make drastic changes. Nearly 70% of a day's exercise time is also spent sleeping, so I think it's really not easy to read the climbing show of coaxing monkeys. Especially scenes like this where you can catch up with a couple and go out together. More common. Plus this exhibit is somewhat backlit as they hide in the canopy. It's really not easy to spot when you're in a sheltered place, but this is considered. It can simulate the experience of observing in the wild. The heights during the day are good for coaxing monkeys. Incident, and at dusk, there was still some green under the tree. The personal face I see once in a while is the one with the giant panda's feet. Anteater. The giant anteater's forelimbs are smooth in color. Viewed from the side, it looks like a giant panda. The profile of his face is very similar, so he is said to have a long life. Look at the one riding a panda. They are all ruthless people. The panda head also gives the giant anteater, who looks gentle in appearance, strength. Bonus. They can use these powerful forelimbs to dig up termite mounds too. Can protect themselves when encountering danger. Their long and narrow heads allow them to explore small caves to search for useful bugs. Behind it is a big tail nearly 1 meter long, which can be used as a quilt on cold nights. The one in front of me digging for insects among the slugs came from the Frankfurt Zoo in 2017. Dolly, who has moved here, is taking advantage of the remaining warmth in the evening to come out from the pool. Snacks, because you don't really feed them ants in the curling environment. It's data that's completely manually curated, so they sometimes. He will come outside to hold meetings by himself. It is said that the giant anteater is usually there. Activities in an open environment, but climbing over low obstacles is easy. The structure of their hindquarters is very similar to that of humans. They both have their feet on the ground. Go straight. Although the structure runs slower, it carries stability and load. It's a throwback. This is about to go back. It took less than 20 minutes in total. The visibility is much lower than that of coaxing monkey. In fact, this is also the first time I have seen it. It's a moving beast, and eBay photographed dozens of zoos. So you think about it, it's not easy to see them more than this. Their mobility is low. The reason is somewhat similar to coaxing monkeys. It may also be because the food sources are all single and provide relatively few calories. Less, so I have to reduce the output. Okay. After watching the big lion feathered beast leave, what we want to see next is. Here's the official welcome mascot as we move on. This end. The design style just now is the same, but the tall glass and wood walls are closer. The distance between them and tourists shows that they are not like monkeys and lion feathered beasts. So afraid of life. Viewed from the sky, the former environment is located in the corner of the zoo. There's plenty of room for tourists, and we're going to. It's the park on their right. This park and the new entrance hall are all. It was newly opened in 2013 and is called the Kamari Paradise. It stands as a whole. The 1,600 square meter outfield is also restoring the South American mountain jungle. The infield is a lounge and fishing studio that are completely closed to the public. The name of Kamari means bear in the Quechua language, an indigenous language of South America. So what we're going to look at next is the only remaining species in South America. The bear species spectacled bear is named because there are many circles around its eyes. White circles like glasses, but not every one is so obvious. Glasses, some origins have almost no white, some origins have all. The face is all white, leaving only 2 dark circles in the eyes. It looks like a panda. Head, yes, the spectacled bear with such black eyes can be said to be on the other side of the ocean. The giant pandas are not only biologically related. The recent bear is even more similar in terms of implementation. Because spectacled bear is also a vegetarian bear, sometimes. Maybe they'll find South American hand dogs living with them. I have been living with this bear named Nobody since 2017. I usually stay in a special tunnel, so it's not easy to see him just once. In the exhibition area next to Nobody is his son who was born in 18 years. The little spectacled bear that often observes tourists in the trees. In the cool mornings and evenings it will sit on the pink shelf to one side, shaving my teeth while watching the tourists coming and going and taking this opportunity. You can take a look at its profile. The spectacled bear is a descendant of the spectacled bear. The existing poison seedlings of this family are also known as short-faced bear family. This refers to the length of their skulls, especially their noses, compared to other bears are shorter, so they don't look as doggy as bears, and they are longer. Be more compact, and when the tourists disperse, they will find something to do for themselves. You see, this is the screw on the paint rack. Don't worry about it knocking the paint rack off. Damn it. These heavy-duty rides have multiple fixings. Doesn't it look like you are very stubborn when dismantling unfamiliar furniture and don't read the instructions? Then I always feel like I've screwed it all the way up again, but I just can't get it off. This is it. A little despair in life. In fact, this behavior can also reflect their relationship with others. Another similarity between giant pandas. If you look closely, you will find that they also have a 6th finger on their forefoot. That's the fake thumb, which is used to grip with the other 5 fingers. It's just a fake thumb. It's not as big as a giant panda's, so it can be grasped. The effect is slightly better. Okay. Today's demolition work has failed. It doesn't matter. We will continue playing tomorrow. In fact, what's more worth mentioning than spectacled bears is their environmental settings. Come and follow me to the other side of the exhibition area. This time I will briefly talk about the large facilities. Environment settings. Look at the tall cement wall on the left and the slope protection on the inside forming a V-shape. Angle. This is the V-shaped flat bottom dry hook. The scale anti-pottery wing is from the outside. It looks natural and sometimes attracts wild animals. For example, this is the Nordic Honya who comes from an oblique angle. These follow the mark of human beings. Birds fly from northern Europe to western Europe to spend the winter. There is no beauty. Mali Paradise is a more suitable place for a boutique because it not only has great rock walls for nesting in these long, sturdy wooden flag stands. Each set of flag stands is supported by a main trunk, and the base may be filled with cement. Or nailed steel nails and put a crossbar on top as a support. Why? There are so many flag stands. Don't look at the roundness of a spectacled bear. But one of the 4 existing trees climbing habits is in their hometown. In the fishing forests of the Andes, they climb trees to avoid hunters. They will also sit in trees or look for fruits to eat. You may. I would think that it is easy to go up the mountain but difficult to go down. Then they will have such a steep final. I'll come down. Now it's time for Mano to show off his real skills. You see, he can firmly hold on to the tree trunks that he can play with more than he does. Then I found several fulcrums and slowly descended like a ladder. So don't deny the abilities of animals easily. They have many short arms and short legs. Those like Feifei Handicraft, Hedgehog Yenchi, etc. are all good at climbing. Because the terrain they have to conquer in the wild is far more complex than in captivity. Why are reptiles used as examples here? Because spectacled bears are in the wild. The characteristics of the cursed night are very difficult to observe, so now it is difficult to observe. Most of what they know comes from being bred in captivity. In fact, many elusive animals have to be kept in captivity to understand them. One of the major groups is reptiles, and only for them are they perfected. You can learn more about them only by winning the captive ring prize. Okay, Eve finished watching the spectacled bears. Let's move on to the exhibition area. What we're going to see next. This exhibition area is famous. This one has a white lion and a wild dog. The ape-suppressing superstar Frankfurt Zoo, the outer area of the Asiatic lion exhibition area built in 1955. This is the hero mother here, a 10-year-old Asian female. Lion Sahina's tail came back from an inspection the year before last. Stress bit me off, and I ended up getting married in 2014 when he was 2 years old. After moving here for 18 years, he sent away the previous lions and married the current one. The combination of Lion King Kumar and the purple color makes me want to wink with you. Lion Kumar moved from Ireland in 2017 and has already done so this year. 15 years old. For an Asiatic lion whose average lifespan is only 16 periods. He is already a proper old lion. Why are you still treating yourself like a treasure at such an old age? Yes, because Asiatic lions are so rare. If you only found out today that there used to be lions in Asia, please click one button on each eye. That's right. Once distributed from India to Eastern Europe, but due to habitat destruction and hunting, now it only retreats to the national park in the northwest corner of India. At the beginning of the last century, there were less than 100 individuals, so they were listed as extinct. One step away from G1. After 100 years of conservation, it is now wild and the total number of Asiatic lions in captivity has exceeded 800. Now please listen with me to the cry of this precious raised hand. The lion roaring like this is not expressing dissatisfaction. It is actually a customary declaration of territory. Because lions tend to be nocturnal at dusk, they can be witnessed every afternoon and evening. And not only bears and lions can bark, but female lions can also bark like this, sometimes both. The lions were not together until the o'clock when the other one heard it. Then they started shouting, and the reason why they could make such a loud noise, it's because they have a special vocal cord structure that passes through the skull. The Chiluan gun amplifies the sound, so people working around you will know when they hear the lions roar. It's time to get off work. It's time to cover up. After telling everyone to get off work, they will find someone. Let's relax in the sun. After talking for a long time, this Asian lion seems to be no different from an African lion. Differences. Let's take a look at the comparison. This is the African lion we are more familiar with. Look at the amount of hair on the head of the person. The thread dance is long and numerous, and the total length can cover the ears. Come back again and again to see Asiatic lions. Although the dragon has many hairs, it cannot cover its ears and its teeth are stuck. The hairstyle is far less elegant than that of the African lion. Even at this length, it is thick and long. Because of the cold in Europe, the Asian lion's fur here has become longer and denser. Differences among African lions also narrowed. But Asiatic lions living in the wild have less hair and much shorter hair. Why? Because the summer in the place of origin is too dry and hot. Can Europe be so wet and cold? Look, this pond is full of reed plants. In fact, our impression of the origin of animals is often very simple and stereotypical, although the typical vegetation in its origin is dry canopy forest, western tree, grassland and thorn forest, but the place of origin is not hot and dry. Whenever the summer monsoon arrives in June, the local humidity is very high. Otherwise, how could there be floods? Moreover, the local terrain varies greatly, and the temperature in hilly and coastal areas it's not that high, especially in winter. It can even get as low as 10 degrees at night. These places all have Asian distribution. So here the humidity is higher and there are more plants, which is good for them. No problem. My friend likes to walk away from the high temperature. I don't know why. The origin of leopard wings handicrafts is also in that area. They will avoid the local area. Those extremely dry and hot areas only go out at night. This means that although they live in desert areas on a macro scale, they walked away from the extreme environment in the desert. This is why the humidity and captivity of these desert species is often higher than expected. But the temperature doesn't have to be as high as in the desert. After all, not all seasons in the wild are suitable for animals to survive every day and every hour. The climate is dynamic. In captivity, you need to make choices about wild data. Get ideal results. This is why you need to arrange temperature and humidity T degrees. The interval gives them a choice. For example, it is cloudy and rainy. If they don't want to get wet outside, they can go inside to take shelter from the rain and stay warm. But when they go back to the house, let's take a look at the daily life of this old couple. In fact, they are both second marriages, but the relationship between both parties is very good. Kumar is also a very good practitioner. When they are together, they often behave very intimately. Kai Hei is also very impressive. He and Shangyin Xiongxue have lived together for so many years. He didn't leave any heirs, and after Kumar came, they lived together. I went to Sinbeitai in just 1 year, especially after spending half my life in Piao. I finally fell in true love. In fact, this cleans each other up. Because of their different body structures, lions have limited places where they can clean themselves. So you need other lions you have a good relationship with to help groom your hair. The flexibility is obviously not as good as fake hair. After cleaning up, although he is gentle and loving to his wife, it is different with outsiders. Okay, now that we've seen the facade of Frankfurt Zoo, let's continue walking inside. This is the Asian Cat Jungle Pavilion, opened in 2001 to provide different sizes. The cat guest building provides enough climbing space and three-dimensional style. It's almost 2 stories high. Living next door to the old couple is their son. Bihan's carrier, she is one of the triplets who adopted black clothes in 18 years. He is just 4 years old this year. Look at his appearance and facial features. He is much more delicate. Look again. The characteristics of this Asian lion cub are more obvious, with a shorter mane. The ears look big. And it doesn't cover the shoulders, making him look very boyish. Her brother. She has gone to other mobilizations, leaving her alone here. Because the lion cub will only live with his mother for about 2 years, which is usually the end of his life. He will lose his mother's protection and become a serious partner in the world of 2 lions. So usually when there are signs of this, they will be separated, and those who should be sent away will be sent away, and those who should be isolated will be separated. He also has his own outfield. There are several characteristics to follow him. Note that although the brown hair in Asia is shorter, the elbow hair is longer than that in Africa. Also, that vertical fold at the bottom of the abdomen is definitely not found in Africa. Look at that raised tail. It's tea time. The keeper takes care of it. Wearing slim tiao to have a snack. This is the afternoon when there are many tourists. Occasionally arrange such an event, even if it is a performance here. In fact, this is a knowledge point that can be explained very clearly, that is, how do these big cats use their tongues? Pay attention when they eat. It doesn't seem as smooth as when you eat beef jerky. You always feel the meat sticks to your tongue. It seems like I have to use my teeth to push the meat off my tongue. This is actually the power of big cats' tongues, because the tongue. The rice thorns are so developed that these little strips of meat are like Velcro when you eat them. It's like sticking it on clothes and it hangs right away. That's why it's so popular. The small pieces of meat are quite boring to eat. It's hung up again. The tooth pusher fell off because it was cold. The thorns on the tongue were originally just to eat large pieces of corpse stone and pick the meat from the bones. After all, the meat of cattle and deer in the wild is tighter, and the tongue can be used as a scraper. On the contrary, it is not suitable to eat this kind of processed minced meat. It looked like a drop fell off. But don't worry about it being hungry. It's just a snack for visitors to see. Everyone's main meal is beef shank and mutton chops. After watching Asia Lion, let's go back and look at another beast from Journey to the West. This time, the environment they live in is three-dimensional and soft, obviously more perfect. Meaning that their climbing ability is much better than that of Asiatic lions. It is the opening ornament for this year's Year of the Tiger. It is also a very special species of suman, Gala tigers. Their numbers in the wild are comparable to those of Asiatic lions worldwide. There are only about 360 individuals in captivity, 8 of them in Germany. The zoo is raising these 1%, and these 2 are now on display in France. They are the Sujinhua sisters Suma and Su from Lanyin Zoo in northern Weizhou. Tippa came here to help me for a few months because my hometown is being renovated. Among them, Tippa is very open-minded and doesn't dare to treat you as an outsider at all. While we're close, let's take a look at the tiger's senses. The tiger has developed a lot of senses. Of course, it goes without saying that they have hearing ability, but they also have a special ability. That is, you can use the first frequency stimulus below 20 Hz that is inaudible to the human ear. Sound communicates over long distances. Stinging sound waves propagate over a wide range. Can you use this to make calls in the wild? It may also have the effect of frightening prey. Look down at the tiger's eyes. Although it is a big cat, a tiger's eyes are not like tree trunk holes. In fact, cat shells are not all tree barrels. The large cat shell animals and some kittens named in the early stage are very similar to you and me. These round-eyed cats are mostly local top predators. Naturally, you won't just eat late-night snacks, and the round hole can better adapt to the falling light. More conducive to killing large prey during the day. After talking about contributions, let's take a look at the features. The difference between Sumatran tiger and other tigers is not small, especially when compared with us. When comparing the familiar Siberian tiger, let's take a look at the face of the Siberian tiger. The white areas are larger and whiter, and the hair on the sides of the cheeks is shorter. Sumatran tigers have thicker facial hair and a richer yellow color than Siberian tiger. Saturation is much higher. Another big difference is the accent and body shape. As the smallest tiger in line subspecies, the shoulder height of an adult Sumatran tiger is only 60 or 70 centimeters. Squatting. It is only as tall as the upper body of an adult. How big is the Siberian tiger? Look at this one. It's nearly twice as tall as them, compared to the petite one. Suman tiger, the stalwart figure of Northeast Lake, will definitely make you. It's unforgettable, but no matter how small it is, it's still a big cat. As a local, one of the top skimmers, Suman Lake also has a long menu and, like other subspecies, they are always the ones that appear in the territory. Favorite. With a full length of 6/8 cm, it can easily pierce the prey's arteries or chasing bones, tearing with the cooperation of developed masseter muscles and 30 teeth, cutting pieces of meat and swallowing them. The big cats I just mentioned have porcelain. In addition to cleaning hair, the tongue can also remove the minced meat from the bones. Hang it down to eat. Will the tiger's teeth get stuffed if he keeps eating like this? It's actually possible, but they have natural floss, that's food hair, such as natural hair and bird feathers. When eating daily, these hairs will shuttle between the teeth and then cooperate. Their flexible tongues can clean the fleshy lines that plug teeth, so keeping these big cats in captivity often requires feeding them complete food and cannot only feed large pieces of meat. Firstly, it is a complete food with more comprehensive nutrition. Second, food hair can not only shape teeth, but also regulate digestion like whole grains. Okay, let him eat first. Let's take a look at the other one. By the way, let's talk about the Siman tiger. Another major feature of the island is hair. Since Simandala Island is in the tropical rainforest climate, their tiger fur is shorter in order to dissipate heat and to hidden better in the dense forest, the black stripes become thicker and thicker. It's thick and even looks a little dizzy. These characteristics make Simenichi. The tiger has the blackest looking teeth. But don't tigers all move on the ground? Is it useful for the environment to be so high? In fact, in nature, tigers also do the above purposefully, for example, hunting birds and monkeys and raising them in captivity to take care of their activity needs. To make their lives richer, we will also arrange some of these useful clean angled tree trunk. It's very simple to jump up. Of course, there are many ways to confine animals, some of which can be very cheap. For example, you can also give them cardboard boxes with the smell of other animals. This is also can stimulate their curiosity. The form of seal is never isolated. Both type checking and other house types can be used for reference. Then why bother to arrange these things? It's enough to make a living. In fact, we might as well think about the meaning of the existence of a zoo. Dependence is, as mentioned earlier, many studies on animals still require. Relying on captive individuals, zoos can fulfill this function. Secondly, people will not protect species they do not understand. For non-researchers, that is, you and me, most of them do not have the financial resources to penetrate into the place of origin to observe animals. And even if you go, you may not be able to see it, but the zoo can. To shorten this distance, even with the development of imaging technology today, it's hard to replace the experience of witnessing it with your own eyes. So what kind of feelings could be conveyed to the audience if it is just to survive? Today's good zoos are not based on breeding or circuses, formed to display animals, but instead treat the animals in the zoo as their wild counterparts are stationed at major events in human society, giving their better conditions allow them to take the initiative to show more grace in order to implement this concept. When you see this video, Fran, zoos have abandoned the tradition of raising Sumangal. Now this is being transformed into the territory of the Asian division next year. After completion, the activity range of the Asian divisions will also increase from the previous 500. The screen can be expanded to more than 1,000 screens. If you are interested, you can also comments on Barrage. I may return here next year to take pictures for everyone. Their situation. After looking at the two big cats, let's take a look at the kittens. It lives in the tall environment opposite, and its whereabouts are very mysterious. Normally you would never see it during the day. Only occasionally in the evening, when there are offerings on the ground, will The owner here summoned this row of chickens to worship one of the smallest cats in the world and the smallest feline cave in Asia, Siobhan. What you see now is a more mysterious West Zealand, Asia. Zealand is an ancient city in Sri Lanka, and they are hidden in eyebrow shadows deep in the jungles of southwestern Sri Lanka, adult spotted cats. The upper tail is only 60 to 70 centimeters long and weighs about 2 to 3 kilograms. Their petite size means they can only hunt small animals in the wild, then feed them with small birds, mice, and small ducks. In such an environment, they'll also be happy with chicks, mice, pigeons, and animal offal. Didn't you know that you were stabbing your teeth at the tourist in the distance? The person that night? Quite a lot, sure, but almost no one is here to observe it. So it's probably just being yelled at by the passing crowds. Change the imitation stone to take out. Now turn up and let's see what the spotted cat's name is. Except for the dark brown stripes on their backs, all other spots on their bodies are its embroidery color. Therefore, their Latin species names are also named based on this characteristic. Only, this feature is most obvious in adult cats. When they are young, they are much darker. Because wild Siobhan cats are hidden and extremely vulnerable to human. Therefore, it is rare to see it even in the country of origin. Most of the current research on them comes from captive animals. Experience, without special domestication, they, of tourists, remain sensitive. You can't even look at the people passing by, so I only dared to take the camera from a distance. We zoomed in for a closer shot, but they are quite attractive to the keepers here. Breeding at French Park has also been very successful, so their European population management is also responsible here. Now he's eating. Let's take a look at his interesting eating preferences. But the chickens fed here are whole kitchen chickens. But you see, they don't eat them from scratch. Instead, remove the head from the chicken first and start eating from the breast. I want to eat the mid to high-end ones with more hair and less meat. After all, there's enough food to roll them up. They only adjust their favorite places to eat. Remember when I said take it? Regarding hair being used as dental floss, we haven't eaten it with hair anyway, but it looks like it's really not very see. He also likes to eat crispy ones. This is a muscle-chewing skeleton with internal organs. Also go around. Why does your cat have this habit? You can tell the court. Take a look. In fact, internal organs are very rich in nutrients, which is also necessary. I don't know if they don't like removing the internal organs and sucking them softly then. Breeders also feed them cow and rabbit offal. Okay. It's time to finish eating. I'm ready to go back to the tree to rest. Today's presentation is over. We know that cats love to climb high, but do tabby cats love climbing that much? In fact, according to the current observation experience, the striped cat is a kitten with a tendency to reach the tree stage. Because this subspecies is native to tropical and subtropical forests. Therefore, they took advantage of their size to expand the erecting space, but they did not. Not all shy cats are like this. They expect India to be named. Relatives of the subspecies live in thickets and bushes and hills and mountains. In the grass landscape, part of it is the Asian style mentioned earlier. The grave areas overlap and they also live in Kiel National Forest Park. For those kept in captivity, they will be provided with sufficient activities to choose from. First, the space allows them to find the one that suits them according to their needs. The second is to allow them to have sufficient hiding space to avoid long-term close proximity. Exposure to the mental stress of tourists provides exactly this. Suffice it to say we don't see them on the edges of glass and fences. I'm too anxious to worry about it, but I can comb myself comfortably like this. Grooming is a way for kittens to express relaxation, even if they are not dirty. As long as they feel comfortable now and want to sleep for a while, they will start making a lot of noise on your body. This behavior will also promote carbon dioxide in the lungs. Secretion makes them feel more comfortable, so try this before going to bed. Reflect their true state. And to many people, it doesn't matter how rare the species on display at the zoo are. What matters is whether you can see it, and what state it appears when you see it. However, stereotyped behaviors are the same, and natural behaviors are different in their own way. If we only consider whether people can see animals at any time without considering animals, demand no matter how rare the species on display are. Isn't that just an eating machine with a different skin? After reading this, Asian cats, come and follow me to the second floor. There are controls before the second floor. The equipment was not allowed to be used by people gathered together. Now we can use it, so can we. Feel the perspective of the beautiful white cat. There is another kind of pivot flag species. Look, this space is called open. It means that from. It's definitely bigger than a shy cat. Miss Yao Yuan just arranged it. Food. Now just wait for him to come out. He really hasn't woken up yet. Let's do it. Let's see what's in today's meal. Beef cubes with small tendons. There are also big fat mice and rabbits. Come out, this person is a bit of a gangster, even though we live together in the Asian cat jungle pavilion. But it is not an Asian species, but native to Madagascar, Africa. The island's Madalmo, and this one looks a lot like Beerus, the god of destruction at first glance. Kittens are actually the largest carnivores in the area. In addition to these small prey, lemurs and paper monkeys are also part of their diet. So he is a veritable god of destruction. Eating pigeons is too boring. Let's go. Let's see if those superb tree climbing skills have the style of a cat shell. Actually, it's not. Although it can climb trees like a cat, it also looks like a cat. Small-sized pumas, but they are really not cats, but cat shells. Category-level animals eat beaver shells, and their chrysanthemums are grown from They are not visible from the outside, so they were also called steel pairs, but remember, either pair nor cuteness can be considered in the strict sense. In fact, they are more closely related to hunting dogs than to cats. But after all, they all belong to the cat-type mother, so there are still some cats. I'll show it to you in slow motion before it comes over. Cats also have retractable claws, but they can only be retracted halfway. This is mainly used by tree-climbing bees while they walk on the ground. At times, they will also adopt the same finger-shaped gait as that of cats. Once on the tree, the rear foot switches to a straight position for greater stability. If you look closely, they also have the typical big cat eyes and tree pupils. But their faces are obviously longer than members of the cat family, more like the cute ones. Even Timon and his family, after introducing so much, they should also go back to rest. Although there are not many captive Falkland blinds, they very adaptable to the captive environment. Very active in the morning and afternoon. So it's much easier to observe them than to observe Freckles. When you see this, you may be thinking, doesn't this guy just like to run on the ground? Occasionally climb a tree, as for providing such a luxurious three-dimensional space? Come and keep walking with me. Next I want to show you this island. The true power of the god of destruction. Turn right when you go out, and you will find their outdoor area. Looking through the tall glass walls, the environment here is more open because the male horse seems to prefer running outside. After all, climbing is their indelible nature, although this artificial flag stand looks spectacular, but still slightly inferior compared to the primitive scales they originally lived in. It's all come out now. Look carefully at his hind feet. That's the heel of his feet. Put it down. This is what I said before: when climbing a tree, it will switch to going straight. This is more stable. Look again. When he reaches the ground, he lifts up the heels of his hind legs. This. Just go straight. Will the points change this time? Look again. It is executed when you first climb the tree and walk more steadily. Then you see, as long as it feels that it is not stable now, it will lift its heel. Put it down and do it again and see if their hind feet are very similar to the soles of human feet. And because they are the most powerful animals besides humans in their origin. So the only thing that can prevent them from going out is the temperature. As long as they are not the oldest. And the hottest time period. They spend a lot of time outside. Their domain ranges from land to trees several meters high. Walking on a balance beam at a height of 5 or 6 meters is even more trivial to them. But how can it get down after climbing so high? Don't worry, it's looking for a suitable place now. Here it comes. Notice that its palm can hold such a thin wire. Then use a tail that is close to the body length to maintain balance. This is the strength that allows them to hunt lemurs in the trees. Although, the Falkland Islands League is very powerful, but it cannot withstand habitat destruction and stray cats. The threat of infectious diseases posed by dogs. There are currently fewer than 3,000 of them in the wild. I hope they won't just live in zoos in the future. Okay, that's all the species in the cat jungle hall. Still watching the barrage? Assemble, let's continue walking forward. There is another exhibition area in front of us. A lovable species. This exhibition area was made in 2004 for the Asian Little Claw water altar inside the nightclub, outfield, and even the heroic mother who has lived here since 2006. Luna. She usually stays on a cloudy or warm overcast day when the sun is not so dazzling. I go out to bask in the sun, but every time I go out I go back soon. So more about her story I'll have in episode 6 of this series. I showed you the daytime section of the nightclub, and now I want to show you. He is also a mysterious warrior who can be called a national treasure. Let's move on. In fact, these animals appear at different times. Fixed. If you want to come and see everything, it's impossible. And the reason why you can see the animals in each exhibition area in this video is because of the nearly 600 days of my behind-the-scenes work. If you haven't made it 3 times in a row yet, now is the time to see the screen. The house has been strengthened, right? The Vitruvian Circle has long-armed circles here. Everything's on. But what kind of long-armed circle is worth building a separate exhibition area for it to live in? Here we are. Look at how well made the long-armed circular display plate in the upper left corner is. It goes well with the overall glass decoration, and there's also a very origin-like installation on top. The breathable canopy can dim the light in the visitor area, thereby minimize glass reflection and improve observation experience throughout the greenhouse. The internal area is 11 square meters and the height is 3.5 meters. It is equipped with a variety of. The quilted material allows the long-armed gardeners to freely expand inside. If you think this place is too small to wander around, come and follow me to look down. There is an exit underneath. If they wanted to, they could just follow the rope across the lake. Directly to this Jianxin island with real trees. In order to ensure the safety of activities in the long-arm park, many ropes are tied to the trees. It makes it easier for them to move around. Many staff displays now use this mode. Not only can you look at nature, but you can also effectively use the park environment to expand activities. You don't have to worry about them escaping, it's just that the design looks. It's pretty good, but I've been here dozens of times and never seen them come out once. So my dream of photographing them like they were in the wild never came true. Why are you so obsessed with this? because these two are happy inside. The long-pen monkey swinging on the swing is now very difficult to photograph in the wild. They are one of the most beautiful apes in the world. In some places of origin they have the golden yellow female of the northern white-armored long-pen ape declared functionally extinct. For example, Elliot from France in 2016 is already 15 years old this year. He and the 10-year-old male surnamed Mofio, also black. That one is one of the most important breeds in the German breeding program. Both of them. They are a very harmonious combination. Except during the childbearing period, the two will often be together. There's a lot of chasing and fighting in there. I'm always swinging around like this. Isn't it going to fall? First of all, in the native forest of the place of origin, the branches in the upper space. The richness is much greater than here. There is a place for it to fall like this. Then, the scattered branches and vines are all within reach. If you can't reach them, then the arms should be longer. So the second point is to adapt to the canopy. As they move quickly, their arms get longer and longer. Long arms make them. They are more adapted to life in the canopy and therefore have less need to go to the ground. Rest in activities. Find a branch and squat down to sit firmly. You see, Mohio was attracted by tourists and happened to see them. Characteristics. The white nails in the name refer to the white hairs on both sides of the male's cheeks. Because the females in this tree all look so similar to each other. The difference is a bit more obvious after all. Let's take a look at their long arms. Actually, in addition to their long arms, their fingers are also long. You see, grasping branches relies on 4 long fingers. The thumb is close to the wrist. Otherwise, the length of the hand including the arms and hands reaches 1.2 to the length of the legs. 4 times. Therefore, the flexibility of movement on the ground is also sacrificed. They rely more on ancient and intact trees than those long-tailed tree-breeding monkeys. In the primeval forest, the elves on the tree crowns once relied on their skills to wander. In the mountains and forests of southern Yunnan province, Vietnam and northern Laos, but now, maybe only in Vietnam can you see wild whitebacks, so. It is particularly important to mobilize participation in conservation projects. These German members will. If you take part of your profits and invest them in Chi-Chi land protection, you will also follow the instructions. It is also planned to release captive offspring. So where did these captive offspring come from? The next scene is very precious, so precious that you want to pay for it. I haven't seen it yet, so if you haven't had 3 consecutive rounds, it's really a little bit not particular anymore. It's over. I feel that with my current level, it is difficult to explain this kind of scene. So for the sake of the number of views in this issue, I'll leave it to everyone to be fair. Feel free to do whatever you want. I'll take a break and wait for you where you are in 1 minute. There's not even a drop left. Everyone's starting to eat today's food supply. Now that I have paid it all, in fact, besides habitat destruction, there is another threat. Just catch them and eat them, you think so? Those who catch these monkeys for game say so. We don't know what will happen to people who can beat sheep. We need to rely on them. Come here, I said speed was popular in the past, but this is fast enough, leaving only sadness. Elliot is waiting on the bed. Looking at his back, he looks melancholy. He is gone. If the living environment is good and the state is good, it will naturally continue to be alive. You can already see Elliot fainting. Nutrition during pregnancy is important, in addition to regular fruits and vegetables. We also need to add some additional animal feed to supplement nutrition and increase the amount of food. It has become bigger than before. You see, the flesh is not spared at all. Almost half a year later, Elliot is able to take the baby out on the street. This little white beetle is just 3 months old, and its color is very similar to its mother. In half a year, regardless of gender, they will become as black as dad. Only after becoming fully sexual do girls turn golden again. The only similarities between us and them are not just at the genetic level. In the wild, there is no need to read the law. Everyone is monogamous for life. Others will also take their children like this, and a family of 3 or 4 will live in the spirit. On Earth, children will not go out to pamper the world until they grow up. The zoo will also wait until the children are a little older and don't get along with their parents. Send it to other zoos or protected areas as planned. I will take pictures with you of their relatives in other parks. Okay, let's come out of Cheongji Park and walk back along this bridge. There is a hidden species here. Why do you say go back? Because. Go straight ahead and there's the entrance. This side on the right is another part of the outfield of Mayakonglin. In the past, it was used for Sumatran tigers. It was modeled after the green forests of Southeast Asia, so the plants. It's much denser, and it's not easy to observe tigers, so I rarely come and take pictures. Other tourists also thought so everyone went. Watch tigers in the museum. Tigers don't come out very often just to watch people. I'll take them with me. What are you doing here? Because there is a tiger here that 90% of the people who come here meet. Little one who can't come, let's wait and see here. In addition to our classic turtle, we sometimes bask together during the day. There are also little evil turtles. Do you know why Germany bans private breeding of little evil turtles? Well, given the winter temperatures in Germany, he and the turtle can just go there. Mobilize here. This means that I only talked about one for display. If it is not controlled, wouldn't it be reasonable? There are 2 old residents on the shore of Magyar Brothers. I'm lucky today. They're here too. They're widely distributed. White Hoof Lake in the Eastern Hemisphere. They moved here from Budapest in 1984. Counting today, I have lived here for 38 years. They still have the marks of the previous era, before 2006. The zoo can prevent them from escaping by building a room. Later. Welfare laws no longer allow this, so it has been changed to diet fish. Okay, I've shown everyone here, whether it's reserved items or journey to the West Easter eggs. The bush in front of me is the Jiangxing Island that I just saw for Cheongbi Garden. Next to it is the greenhouse of Cheongbi Garden. The lighting is pretty good. You can see the sun in any season. The lake below was built in 1874, and there are many native plants underwater. And our next destination in Jinjianjiu district is this lake. The new park by Baoya, which has been young for nearly a century and a half, returns to the ground. This exhibition area is the youngest group in the entire park. It was established at the end of 2018. Open to military industry. Artificial rocks scattered everywhere are intended to restore ruby penguins in South America. The landscape of the coastal hills and shrubs in my hometown. From here, I can see across. Centenary silvers like this place very much, and they started to breed one after another in the 2nd year. This is a young red penguin that hasn't unfolded yet. It's probably surrounding him. When parents want food, the signatures hanging on their arms have their names written on them, like this. Just call it bottle. The reason why this environment is so popular is that it gives. They are equipped with more than 630 bottles of mountain vegetation maggots for pig tide spawning. There is also a 320-bottle water bath for them to take a dip in. On a clear and cool day you can see red penguins in the water. Cleaning yourself is a necessary environment for them every day because daily dirt may damage the oil on the surface of their feathers. It is this layer of waterproof oil that makes the down layer under penguin feathers. They won't get wet, causing them to die from the cold water. When encountering a hard-to-clean area, they will invite the surrounding people like a lemur. Relatives and friends, please help. So where does this layer of oil come from? It depends on. Their butts are small. Like many birds, they also rely on their tails. The nearby tail finger line secretes oil, and then you can use your mouth to transfer it to the water to see what it looks like. Are you cleaning your own gas station? Pay attention to them here. The black feet also have special functions. In addition to catching sheep, they can also pass. Countercurrent heat exchange keeps your feet from getting too hot to melt the ice. It's so cold that you lose consciousness. Of course, you can also absorb heat while basking in the sun. You can't just watch penguins on the water. Come on, they'll take you underwater. Look, I don't know how many people think this pile of rocks along the road is against the rules. What do you say to the penguin station on the beach in the desert? In fact, the place of origin is affected by ocean currents, and the air at sea is dry. So the whole coast is dry. You can even see fairy and penguins sharing the same frame locally. Isn't it amazing? What's so amazing? I just finished the college entrance examination and my Donu is still there. Isn't there a representative from Dilik to claim this advice? I told you it's from South America. Penguins. There are schools of fish in the Han River on the shore that can feed penguins. Is that possible? What sheep flow? Isn't that the largest stream in the world on the west coast of South America? System. Is there a cold wave in Peru? We can't just play and forget this important knowledge point. Right. Let me add another knowledge point for you. The Peruvian cold wave is in Germany. Actually it's called Hongbao Yanglu. Do you remember what this penguin is called? Hongbao. Penguin is a red treasure to these two. The person who discovered this sheep flow is Alexander von Hongbao, the great German naturalist of the 18th century, so the local penguins also named this fish to commemorate it. It is not Named after Hong Mao himself, so you should be able to think of Hong Mao now. What's the biggest threat to penguins? It's the local fishing industry. I won't expand on the follow-up related knowledge points here. I believe you must. Through this opportunity, I can combine animal knowledge with textbook content. Yep. Now that we've talked about what's in the textbook, let's look at what's not in the book. Many people have noticed that penguins release when they swim through the water. Bubbles. This phenomenon is also called air bubbles. Gases in the feathers are released into the water, lowering the water around the body. Density and viscosity effectively reduce the friction between the body and water. This avoids the enemy. And hunting provides a speed bonus. This is how it is used. Okay, now that we've finished talking about the story of the red penguin on the other side of the ocean, let's move on. Now we're going to see the sea beasts we share a continent with. Now, we need to go back the way we came, and we have to go up the high ladder from here. We are here. This 400 square meter swimming pool with a shaded greenhouse is for people originally from. Where is this used to name subspecies of harbor seals along the coasts of Nordic countries? It's a sea beast. It's obviously a sea creature. It's a round harbor seal. You could say it is. The most common poster in the zoo is actually found in almost every subspecies. High-dimensional areas in the northern hemisphere, except for zoos, in the far north of Germany. You can see wild Hong Kong posters in Shihi's protected areas. But if you want to see their underwater bodies, you can only go to the zoo. The zoo not only provides an underwater perspective, but also through behavior and demeanor. Let people understand them more deeply. Isn't it time to perform now? At that time, tourists all came after hearing the news. Do you think this place is going to do an animal show? Don't worry. Let's define it first. Let's take a look at what people are doing. Right, check their bodies. One component of behavioral grooming is interactive training, which allows the animal to. Being familiar with the breeder makes it easier to cooperate with contact inspections. It is a spanking and scolding training. Those who come out are those who have been trained through positive reinforcement. Those who know how to do it should take a quick look at it. He doesn't have any nervous behavior now, and he feels very at ease in the post-production process. Give it to the breeder to check. This is a good training result. But it won't be like this for everyone. If someone else comes to do this, they might fall out. Okay, finished on time. Jump into the sea. The bouncing of sea cells is really amazing. This is to reward them for their cooperation and give them a few fish. Now is the beginning of the activity. At the beginning, I have more energy, so I can throw it farther away. After all, foraging is one of the most important circular driving forces of funeral. Also provides the basis for the following activities. Make a pavement. Good. The first interactive project. Very traditional ball cutting. Come everyone, watch his actions. Look, it's not quite right. Yes, seals are not suitable for heading the ball because their heads are rounder, but if you force them to train and make them look beautiful, then they will. Crossing the line becomes performative, so you see a line between the two. Is it going to cause stress to the animals? Do you agree? It doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're happy. For animals this level, there are only advantages. The second one is like high jump. You see, it is very simple. Interaction. I didn't want to play with this at first, but Fei Delying also jumped with it. This is all voluntary because even if you don't jump, you will still have fish to eat. Hey, you can get something for nothing and still keep jumping. In fact, animals are not willing to accept it. When they come, they are very happy to work for food, so based on the above. A little. Without putting pressure on them, animals will do something voluntarily. In fact, it's the same with people. When you donate and you recognize something you yourself, will take the initiative to do it. This is universal among vertebrates. Now professional dog training, cat training, parrot training, guinea pig training, crocodile monitor lizard training. It's all based on this logic. The next thing is a demonstration of ability. The body of a seal is very flexible. The neck can almost be folded in half in the opposite direction. This is an ancestral ability because seals and shellfish share a common ancestor. Both bloodlines are. Inheriting the flexible body of our ancestors, the third project is to drill circles. Look, how low is it? Does it feel very watery? Just water. For them, just playing with them is enough. In fact, animals, you won't feel like you'll suffer if you do more, and you'll have appropriate interactions. It's good for the body and mind, but if you keep pushing the difficulty level in order to be satisfied, tourists perform in search of adventure, and it immediately becomes fun. The last one. Link, pick up the small ring. 5 were thrown out one after another. It was a little more complicated than the previous activity. Look, I brought the pullover back. It's actually not that difficult, just like training a dog to pick up. Like a frisbee, let them become interested in this object first. As for how to bring it back and let them figure it out on their own. It was impossible for Sun Xiaoyun to go down and do the demonstration on her own. Then based on their solutions, the trainer gives feedback. If the food is more delicious, it will naturally strengthen this behavior. Okay again. Then, I spend more time eating fish than doing activities. In fact, everyone is the same. I'll give you a high salary and do the simplest work. You will definitely be very happy, knowing that most animals have no eyes, trusting each other on both sides. As long as I don't give you anything to eat, I'm willing to play with you, but that's it. It takes a long time to build trust. After all, they speak a different language than you. Whether it's reptiles or mammals, professionals must be familiar with each other. It only takes a few months, but the food strengthened by beating and scolding seems to have quick results. But it actually lays more hidden foundations for the future. This is similar to raising children. It looks like it. Parents, just take it easy. Okay, I lied. The feeding is over. The whole process only takes 15 minutes. In fact, the feeding just happened here. The pool. This is what I showed you at the beginning. It's next door to the seal pool. Because the original residents here moved away a little, so the seals moved it first. The other platform is where the reader was standing just now. This place was originally used to raise South African sea lions. This is a sea lion whose adult body can reach about 2 meters, but there are also other names for South Africa, such as sea lion. That's because their Latin species name, Silos, means tiny. I don't know what size the name refers to, but it's definitely not the size. Because they are the largest of the furry sea lion rats. If you hear the name for sea lion again, you will know their previous fate. Not so good, just because of this smooth and delicate fur. They were killed until they were critically ill in the 19th century. Fortunately, the population has recovered significantly now. I have also become a frequent visitor to the zoo. I have to say this when I see this. What is the difference between sea lions and seals? The most obvious feature of sea lions is that they have external eyes, and seals have 2 ear holes, and those of sea lions. The neck is longer and the head is pointed, while the opposite is true for seals, followed by sea lions. The longer forelimbs at least allow them to walk on land, and seals can only use it. Finally, let's take a look at their many commonalities. People think that their limp feet are ridges of flesh, but actually there are. It has bones and nails. What's the use of these nails? Anyway, I'm itchy and I can tell you. Sea lions also have a special behavior, which is to roll over in the water. Belly sunbathing. But while they were doing it, I found one. The strange phenomenon is that there are a lot of them where they feed. The bubbles come out and are very long lasting. They can't be fished for half a day. It's like deep fry. After checking a lot of information, I couldn't find any explanation. Finally, I asked a friend to ask an experienced breeder. The gray side may be due to hair that dries while basking in the sun on land. A large amount of gas is wrapped in it and can be removed by using your feet above the water after entering the water. However, the principle and meaning behind this is still unclear. It may also be related to penguins. It's all for speeding up the game. Maybe this can be used as a research project. Okay, we've seen all the sea animals in Frankfurt Zoo, but here is more. There's something worth seeing. I'll show you the way. There's a descent here. Dow, there's a popular science board here showing some extreme diving data. 30 meters for humans and 200 meters for seals. The sea lion is 250 meters and the ground is about 300 meters. The ship is 600 meters. Lion seals can reach 1200 meters. Guess who is the shallowest? Wipe. Essence 3000 meters. There is a cave opposite the expansion. Let's go in and take a look. This is the underwater view. Scenic spot. The sea lion hat bubbles just now were all taken here. This space is a bit hidden and often missed by tourists. Be sure to see it if you come here, but you can't just see the underwater caves here. There are also many interesting interactive devices. I recommend that you come and experience this for yourself if you have the opportunity, or arrange the barrage and Sanlian. If there are many people who want to see it, we will arrange it later. I will not take up the time of this issue to give a special lecture on an interactive device. After coming out of the underground, we walked up the slope to see where we live. The animals on the mountain live in this relatively old and simple enclosure. He has been a frequent visitor to the Frankfurt Zoo for hundreds of years and has stayed in India as a distinguished guest as early as when the zoo was first established in 1858, wealthy people began to live here. But the ones you see now happen to be in February 2020. Before the epidemic, moving from the zoo in East Germany was both prickly and I go out at night. Is a porcupine a large hedgehog? It's really not. They are more biologically different than humans and porcupines. In appearance, porcupines have longer quills and are larger in size, while hedgehogs are completely. Without this piece, the porcupine's quills would fall off easily, and those that were stuck. The ones that can take away the quills are basically done by porcupines. The hedgehog's thorns are firmly fixed on the body. It can be said that all have thorns. It's a kind of convergence, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a close romantic relationship. There are differences in their defensive behaviors. When the hedgehog is in danger, it shrinks into balls of thorns, and porcupines have fried hair like this, and they even attack predators. The porcupine's winning rate is quite high because he takes the initiative to hit him. When the weather is cold, they will come to the greenhouse on the hillside to escape the cold. The three pigs often move together and are very united. You see, they don't get pricked when they touch each other. Let's look at the difference between the hedgehog and the hedgehog. One big difference is the diet. Porcupines are mainly herbivorous. The diet is the same as rabbit looks very much like. Look at how delicious the corn is when you eat it. Hedgehogs are pure carnivores and are unlikely to eat the things that porcupines like to eat. There is a larger slope next to Horseshoe Slope. Living here is the last species we're going to introduce today. It has the narrowest distribution area among existing goats. The West Caucasus garden sheep are produced only on the Georgian border of Russia. This is the odd sheep here, a very majestic adult ram. The sheep in the name also comes from the classic of mountains and seas, which refers to the big-footed sheep. But to be precise, it refers to the ibex of the same genus. They both live together. In high-altitude mountains, they also molt in spring and autumn. Now it's spring. Molting period. There is a shawl hanging around the neck and woolen pants on the buttocks. Maybe. It looks like it's a bit stretched. You could say it's a spring-specific embarrassment, but if you come back in winter, their hair will be more even. Now the breeder is doing interactive training because these goats are very sensitive. In the wild, they avoid other species. In order to escape humans, they even turned into nocturnal animals. But there. Such an environment often needs someone to clean it, if you don't talk to the breeder. To build trust, this dragon house is equivalent to their desperate situation. What's going to happen? These goats have been living here for 6 years. You see, it still has to walk steadily and slowly inside. This is just like a seal. The interaction is completely different. So the prerequisite for establishing relationships with animals is to understand them well, in a way that is acceptable to the animal, while respecting its identity. Increased interaction opportunities can desensitize them to humans. Now this scene is not for tourists to perform, but for daily maintenance of relationships with me. I saw it on the way to the black rhinoceros from the aquarium, and took the photo. So if any animal enters a captive environment, it can't just be thrown there. No matter what, you have to put a lot of effort into making friends with them and establishing relationships with them. Almonds also make it easier for breeders to come in and clean them. Germany has high humidity. In order to ensure that the surface of this outdoor environment is dry, the cameraman has to come in frequently to clean up excess feed and feces because... Looking back at the female here, you can see that the horns are much smaller. Now come over here and I will show you their magic weapon for conquering cliffs. It's their sheep's hooves. Why can goats walk so close? Vertical cliffs, thanks to their special structure. Their toes can be separated and equipped with hard kicking nails. They can be clamped on the cracks in the rock wall like pliers. They also have the well-developed suspension can also help them hang on to the two behind them. When running on a cliff, quick braking acts as a brake. In fact, many animals have this. Dogs are like wolves, but they are obviously not as developed as goats. The conditions for babies in mountainous areas are difficult. Lambs must be followed from the 8th day after birth. Mom goes up the mountain to eat grass, although she won't be weaned until she's 1 year old, this way He has developed the ability to walk on walls with pneumonia since he was a child. So if you have talent, you also need to work hard. Doggy here is also doing very well. They have been released into the wild since 20 years ago, which will allow them to have the opportunity in the future. Go into the wild and see what they look like in the mountains. Okay, that's it for the Frankfurt Zoo series. The long video of the first episode. What did you gain after watching it? Please leave it in the comment area. Tell me. Long-form productions vary. Please give me more support if you can do it by the end of August. With over 10,000 likes, we will unlock the highly anticipated second episode. Holly, I'm waiting for you in the aquarium. In the next episode, I want to take you to dive in. All over the world, across freshwater and seawater, from invertebrates to notochord caves. From cartilage to hard bone, these diverse life forms adorn our planet. Core area. Are you ready? Let's dive together.